Anyways, hello YouTube and welcome in Twitch chat. Today we are going to be ranking all of the current released Fontaine characters in order of their playstyles and how fun they actually are. You know, we've had a little bit of time with Fontaine. It's not over yet, but we're going to be ranking them based on just how they feel, like how fun they are, how different they feel, how much uniqueness they bring to the table. This is not just about meta, although it's important because I feel like if a character doesn't perform well and that makes them feel like shit, but we're just going to rank them that way. So let's get something over with and something done with easy. D, Lynette. Like, literally, what the fuck? They did her dirty. Like, super boring, doesn't do anything, doesn't give us anything, and they literally copied the E off of Yulon and thought they like, no. Like, F minus. Like, actually F minus. Um Fremine, I'm gonna give him a C because I see what you were trying to do, but the math department checked out. Like, they left the building the day they made Femine. Like, the department that's in charge of like running the calculations and the calculators, they went home early that day. Because they did not give my boy enough of really anything to make him do much. But he is fun. And if you play him with Xianjin, like Cloud Retainer, super fun playstyle there. Not very good in meta, but super fun. Nuvolette. I might get some hate for this. Don't get me wrong. Nuvolette's like really strong. Like the strongest character that's ever released in Genshin, in my opinion. The playstyle, like, it's giving Ganyu level boring. Like, like there's nothing to it. It's literally E, click, Q, click. Like, it's just boring. Like, and like there's no like inner mechanics that like even really make you even think. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that makes you really think about it. Like, it feels like you're turning your brain off and everything's dead. I just think it's like boring. And although the hydro pump is cool, I guess like I think because like it's so non-dynamic, I feel like it just gets like a little like uninteresting. It would have been cool if there was like some more inner workings, like a way to like, bounce the like hydro beam off of like things, or like, like some like reaction mechanics that like operated differently. Like, I just feel like at this point in Genshin, a character just existing and pumping out damage is not enough. Like, I need something that's really gonna make me like really think about and be like, ooh, like this with this in combination would be so cool and so different. Like, it feels like no matter what I'm playing with the Nuvolette team, it runs the same, which is go through all my supports and then jump on Nuvolette and hydro pump everything to the ground. And like, although strong, boring. Risley. Now listen, I would have put Risley at a C before Cloud Retainer released, but Cloud Retainer did make Risley really fun. Like, it felt like you're playing a combination system. Because you're like doing like, charge attack, normal attack, and then you're like uppercutting and then into like a plunge attack. Like, that was really cool that even exists as a play style. And it kind of almost gave like monk feelings on other video games where you're like really working through a combo. Without Cloud Retainer, I put him at C. I think he has one of the most lackluster animations currently. Like even his burst, although like, wow, you punch something, I was kind of like, and I feel like I feel like all the fist characters suffer from that. Like, all the fist characters, because like obviously they're just using their fucking fist to punch things to death, they kind of just get like meh. He does have good cheeks though, which is why we're putting him in B for butt and booty. He's being carried by the ass. Lenny, you know, although we didn't get like a twin character, at least the twins are enjoying themselves together at the bottom. Um and it makes sense why they opened up with such an awful cast of units at the beginning. Because they wanted to drain your wallet with something that wasn't worth your time. They were really trying to tempt you. It's just Ganyu reskinned. Like, can let's be real. And then the burst, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I almost felt like I was playing like a 3-year-old game at that point. Like I was a 3-year-old. Like I was just like, oh, okay. It's just Pyro Ganyu. And like, I just feel like charge attack units at this point need more to their combat systems than standing around and like throwing out like charged attacks. Like that's it. That's all I have to say. Like I just need more at this point. I just need more. And Linny's not doing that. Yeah. I'll stand by that. Okay, Farina. She did change the meta. She did change the meta. And like, Crabaletta is a fucking meme. Like, Crabaletta's funny as hell. And you have off-field Hydro, which is nice. And there is like mechanics. Like there are mechanics that make you rethink the way you're like approaching characters or teams with her. So I'm gonna put her in A because at least fanfare and this idea of team-wide health reduction is something new and different that like is doing it. The only reason why she's not an S is because like she kind of suffers from Nahida syndrome where you're like on the field and you hit E and then you hit Q and then you leave. And you're kind of like, and then there's like nothing more to that. Like, it's like kind of the same thing, but in a different font. So that's why I'm putting her in A. And I'm gonna stay there. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Like, now that I've seen Star Rail burst, it's so hard. I don't know if you guys have this feeling too. But like it takes a lot for Genshin to impress me when Star Rail bursts exist. Like, and I know the reason why Genshin bursts can't be like that. Because Jeff will go on Twitter and talk about it being a damage loss and get cooked, even though he's true and real and right for what he said. But I know why they can't be like cinematic movies. But then it's so hard to be impressed by Genshin Burst because you're like, it's over already. Like, that's it. So it's a rock and a hard place. But that's why the characters really need to have really interesting, dynamic, and well animated active play styles. Like, if they're gonna put a field on the floor, like, I'm sorry, but like Farina should have domain expansion like Nahida. I should have felt like I was fucking underwater. Like, I should have felt like Farina was flooding the battlefield. That would have been more of a freaking moment than whatever the hell those bubble effects were on the screen. Like, that's what should have actually happened. Like, it should have felt like, oh my god, she put us in a fishbowl and everybody's fucking taking damage. That's what we should have been given. And instead, I got Crabaletta, who rolls herself into exploding barrels for fun. Yeah, we got like a filter, which was kind of like, So yeah. Charlotte? See, problem is she's a 4-star. I'm gonna put her in B tier because honestly, being the paparazzi and being freeze was hilarious. I knew they were gonna do this from day one. The fact that she could freeze enemy and she's like, say cheese, bitch, you're in frame, is funny as hell. They had a vision and they executed it. Obviously, she's a 4-star. So I think her burst could have been a bit better. I almost wish Charlotte was a 5-star because it would have been so funny to do like a freeze frame of Charlotte being overwhelmed, like she's getting caught by the paparazzi and she's like, please, no pictures. And then she like looks at the camera and it's like cryo everywhere. Like, that would have been fucking hilarious. Would have sold copies. Like, I would have been like spending C1 immediately. But she kind of gave us like a half-assed version of that with the burst. Like, the burst literally just like cryo in a little circle. And I'm like, okay, sure, babes. To the woman of the hour and of Fontaine, truly, honestly, do you guys remember when leaks came out and everyone thought Navia was a Hydro Archon? Well, in this list, she is. She is the Archon of fucking Fontaine. Navia, listen, the burst, the on-field burst portion could have been better. Like the Geo hitting the ground, I feel like they could have made it look more impactful. Like I wish that was the case. Like I wish it was like chunkier, you know? Like that's the only issue I have is her burst. I just wish those like things that flew at the ground. Like I wish you like saw the rock smash and all that. But her animations were good. The sunglasses were good. The E feels smooth. I've never felt a smoother character to play in the game than Navia. And you will truly never know the feeling of smooth gameplay in Genshin until you play Navia. It is like playing butter. Like I don't know what it is. It's just she is one of the most responsive characters. Like it just feels like you're like it feels like you're in like a set of motion and everything's just working and you're going through the flow. Like you feel like you're in a flow. I just love her playstyle. And I love that she's super, super usable with so many different teams because she's like Geo, but make it crystallize so I can work with anybody. It's the Twitter guy. Okay, I need people on Twitter to stop doing that. Because when you come into a chat and you say it's the Twitter guy, it sounds like I have an OnlyFans and like my you know what is all over Twitter. Like you need to be more specific and say the Twitter guides guy. Like or the Twitter news guy. Like you can't say the Twitter guy because that's sounding like I'm an accountant on the side. And like we're not that desperate for money yet. But we are desperate for downloads. So exclamation point Sonar in the chat. So I don't become that Twitter kind of guy. And also, you can do a lovely exclamation point Tacticus in the chat and download today and also get a chance of winning your own, Honkai Star Rail or Genshin Impact Welkin and Welkin equivalent. Yo, I'm honestly so crazy when it comes to like a segue. Like, the way I slipped into that, like, I slipped into Sleepy's dad's room. Ooh. It's just like what I do. Anyways. Honestly, I have been learning from Hassan. Okay, please don't yell at me. Don't yell at me, chat. I love her. Actually... like, honestly, her own fucking tier. Like, literally her own tier. One of, like, the laziest characters. They gave her a gun, and then she barely did anything. Like, the E... like, sometimes I don't even know if the E lands. Like, I'm just hoping it does, because I can't tell. Like, I actually can't tell. Like, I'm like, I think I hit something. But I don't know, because there's not even a good enough effect for me to know that I hit something. And then the Q is just, like, E... It's like the iPhone, where the iPhone comes out and they're like, onto the iPhone 16 Pro Max Plus. Like, I'm like, what's the difference? Oh, it's bigger. Oh, okay. Thank you for that whole ass name. Yeah, like, I just don't... I think they literally flopped. Like, I don't know if they ran out of budget or time, but definitely one of those things happened. It is so mid. Dare I say, although I talked the most shit. Dare I say? No, I can't. The burst is too... the burst is Baiju copy paste, though. Above Farina, but below Navia. Not too much. Not too much. Honestly, so fun. And I honestly talked so much shit. I feel like it was a Kokomi situation all over again. Love her. The play, like, do you know how much fun I had with plunge attack meta? I literally love plunge attack meta. I think it's so funny. The amount of teams that came out of that were absolutely cracked for no reason and shouldn't work but do is so funny. So funny. I love it. I love the E. Like, I think the E is really pretty. And I'm honestly mad that she's not an on-fielder because her normal attacks are so pretty. I don't know if you guys have seen them because no one uses them. But her normal attacks are so nice. But you never use them because, like, why? You're not playing her on field. Also made Candace work in the meta. Thank you. That's true. Gaming? I'm going to put in A tier, but because, listen, if it was based on cinematics, then Gaming would be S. Because the Gaming cinematic is really good. But it's obviously based on you playing it in the game. And I think Gaming's kit is really strong. Love his personality. One of the few 4 stars that I genuinely, actually, chat, the Gomming storyline of Lantern Right is, dare I say, one of the most well-written character storylines in the game currently. Which is crazy because, like, can people even experience that? I don't even know if they can. Isn't that like an event? I don't know if it's event tied or not. But it was so well written and so relatable. Like, they can't. That's insane. That's insane. It's literally one of the best story related storylines they've done. And like, I hate the Cloud Retainer one. The Gomming one is so good. I'm so sad that I have to put her here. Like, I'm actually so sad that Shiori's here. Because Shiori deserved better. Shiori deserved, like, the Siren treatment of Honkai Impact 3rd. And we got the most mid version of a character with scissors. Like, knowing what the potentiality could have been for a character with a scissor weapon and getting Shiori is insanity. It's insane knowing that they've created characters with the same weapon with way better animations and they literally just said no. The E? Like, literally, if they weren't a meme, if those dolls weren't a meme, she would low-key be one of, like, the worst designed characters in the game. The E is whatever, and the Q, what? I'm supposed to be impressed because she spins around and cuts the screen with a pair of scissors. It still does nothing. It doesn't even leave a field. It's literally an instance of damage and it's done. Like, you're like, oh, okay, it's over. And there's not even, like, lasting effects. Like, it doesn't even do anything. It doesn't even, like, leave a mark on targets. It doesn't do anything. Such a mid-ass character. Like, Shiori was such a disappointment because she has such a freaking unique personality. Like, someone that's actually serving cunt. And all she served was mid. Not even mid. Less than mid. Honestly, I think she's the biggest Fontaine disappointment. Nope, that's a lie. It's Lynette. It's Lynette and Feminine. Or not Lynette. It's Lynette and Linny. Lynette and Linny, in my opinion, are the biggest disappointment in terms of kit and gameplay from Fontaine. They don't even work together. Who? Like, why would you design twin characters who are literally a part of each other's storylines and they don't even work together? Like, yes, we didn't get a duo character, which is fine. They weren't about to, like, you know, reprogram a whole new system to make duo characters a thing. But literally, like, what's going on? I still think, to this day, chat, at my fucking core, I feel like Hoyoverse in an early version of Fontaine had duo characters as a thing. And they scrapped it because they couldn't make it work or something. Because when you look at the cast, it would make so much sense. Let me pitch it to you. Linny and Lynette, duo character. Focalor and Farina, duo character. Risley and Nouvelette, duo character running freeze. Clorinde and Navia, duo character. Like, you can see it. They could have maybe done, like, Fremine and Charlotte, duo character. Literally, Gomming and Cloud Retainer, duo character. They're literally the same playstyle kits. Like, I genuinely think... Oh, yeah, or Rio and Sejuani. That's true, too. I didn't think about that. But, yeah, Rio and Sejuani could have been a duo character. I forgot Sejuani existed. That's true as well. But, like, they could have done it. Like, there are so many characters that have pairings in Fontaine. Like, there are so many, like, duo, like, pairs. Like, and let's say we don't want Focalor. They could have done, like, Farina and Nouvelette. They could have. Shiori and Emil... but it depends on Emil's, you know, element. But true. Gomming and Cloud Retainer work together? Yeah, they do. Cloud Retainer boosts Gomming's plunge damage. Farina and Crabaletta. Yeah. I wonder who would have been with Arlecchino then. Who would have Arlecchino's duo been? I'm trying to think of the remaining characters. Maybe Arlecchino would have been with Emile or Emily. That's true. They could have done like Arlecchino and Linny. Columbina? You know what? That would have been interesting if they released it later. Like, that would be interesting if they didn't do dual characters like you pull one, you get both, but they did dual characters like you pull both, but if you do pull both, there's a special interaction between their kits. Kind of like Honkai Impact 3rd, because I think in Honkai Impact 3rd, that's how it works, right? With those twin girls, like you can pull both. Like you have to pull them both, and then only when you're running them together. Like, that's how they should have done it, because then they could have made Arlecchino's kit stand alone, but then make Columbina's work with it later. They should have done it, and I'm convinced they did. I'm convinced, chat, the whole Fontaine storyline changed literally during Sumeru. There's so many things in the storyline that I'm like, what? I do believe that the Archons were all supposed to go on trial, but they ended up not wanting to do it for whatever reason. I feel like maybe they just couldn't pull it off. Sub badge is so cute. Oh my god, Neck Day, congratulations on the 18 months. Don't they have that in Honkai Impact 3rd? A duo character, yes. Arlecchino! I'm putting father at the top. I'm putting father at the top. New mechanic. I don't like the mechanic right now. Personally, I think the mechanic is a hindrance, but hopefully it won't be in the future. Basically, I feel like it's like Farina. Like, they have a mechanic, but unlike Farina, their animations are better. Like, in my opinion. I think Arlecchino's animations are better than Farina's animations. I feel like they, like, obviously, like, so much of Farina is lacking because all the animations are in the, like, pets. You know what I mean? Like, they're in, like, Crabaletta and all that. And 90% of the time, you're not even paying attention to what they're doing because you're too busy focusing on the character on field. Father at the top next to Fatherless. That's crazy. That's wild. Now I'm gonna just say this. If Clorand is not next to her girlfriend Navia, me and Hoya are gonna have problems. We're gonna have problems. If they do Clorand dirty, if they give Clorand Dia treatment or Miko treatment, I'm gonna be annoyed. And I'm already worried about it because I'm like, you know what? They're taking a little too long with her. And it's giving, we don't know what to do. And you know how they dealt with Chev. Y'all saw what they did with Chev with the gun. And I don't want that. Like, we kind of have literally two options. Either they're going to give us Navia good with a gun, or they're going to flop like Chev. It's one or the other. Literally, they made her cook in the animation with Navia. Give me pistol and fencing sword with Clorand. I know. I wouldn't mind if she's main DPS. But they've kind of always fucked up Electro main DPSs. Who are the Electro main DPSs? Sino, they fuck that up. You could run Miko as a main DPS, but that's copium as hell, so you ain't doing that. Raiden, I guess, is like a main DPS, but at the same time, she's not really. She's more like a switch DPS. Like, you don't really run her on the field. You, like, do 6 slashes and then switch. There's literally, like, barely any Electro main DPSs when you think about it. Like, Kaching? No. I'd rather die. Like, truly. They've really done Electro dirty now that I'm looking at it. Hold on. Like, why are they so bad with Electro? Hold on, y'all. Let me pull this up. I need to actually check. Okay, we got Lisa. Oh, I didn't this load correctly. Like, Lisa, trash. Razor, trash. Beto, energy issues, boring, trash. Fischl, slay. Number 1 slay. The only slay in Electro. Kaching, trash, boring. Raiden. Like, I like Raiden, But like, I don't know. She suffers from like animation creep. Kujo Sara, trash. Miko honestly, Miko not having fox form or having tails beyond just her ult and them disappearing immediately to the day I die, will truly be my villain origin story. Like, they had so many opportunities to give us a furry that we actually care about. And they fucked it up. Kuki Shinobu, while she's good in the meta, boring. Like, Kuki Shinobu's so fucking boring. Like, it's literally just an E around you, and then her burst is so whatever. Dory, y'all know how I feel about that. And also, she sucks. So, there that goes. And then Sino has, like Sino had a really cool burst, but then, like, suffers from success. Like, he's just on the field too long. They actually have done Electro so dirty. 90% of the lineup is trash. Even though it's my favorite fucking element. They have done this element so dirty. Oh. Sethos save us. Sethos and Cloran, man. I wonder what Sethos is gonna do. I really do. I have no freaking clue what they're gonna do with that 4-star. Wildest character in my opinion is an Electro 4-star coming out of nowhere. Remember when Aggravate was supposed to fix Electro? Electro damage-wise is in a perfectly fine place. I'm talking about character design and animations. In that case, we're in hell. I know, but Overload is so boring! Like, unless they're gonna change up Overload, like Bloom with, like, Nilou, like, I need them to do something. I still think that they should do Reverse Overload. They should do Implode. That's what I think is cool. If they do Overload, but instead it's Implode, meaning every time Overload goes off, it sucks in enemies nearby, game over. G, motherfucking G. Fuck the Animos, we don't need them. That's what we need. We need, like, a Reverse Overload. Where, like, it's just pulling enemies in when you're triggering overloads. Because then imagine how much fun gameplay would be then with, like, even Chev. Because then it's like you're aiming and it's kind of like a Farzan-y, where you're, like, aiming and then wherever you hit, that's where all the enemies get sucked into. Like, then, ooh, game-changing. Way more fun. Again, for the millionth time, please, Hoyoverse, hire me on your game design team. You clearly need help. It's kind of rough out here. Yeah, like mini black holes. Exactly. Exactly. Anyways, that's my ranking. Thank you for sitting through that chat.